Hello, everyone, and I am here today to share your first week of February's astrological insights. I think it is an exciting month as we have got so many planets in the sign of Aquarius, and it is definitely exciting for me because this is the week of my birthday as well. So the advice is I'm trying to give you, I definitely need to kind of embrace myself also to bring the best out of the year ahead. So we had Mercury going retrograde yesterday, which we have already covered in the previous weekly forecast. So if you don't remember, then check it out. I will put the link above. But we're going to be starting the week with a little bit of attention because we are going to be having Sun square in Mars. So Sun and Mars both are hot and dry planets. So it could be a little bit irritable, restless, disconnected energy. Saturn is the planet of test, and Mars is all about go getting. So your patience might get tested by others. And you need to find something with which you can let the steam out. You can have plenty of energy today. And if you are not sure what to do, then try to do some running, or maybe you want to go to a steam room, or you want to be going and do some kickboxing. Mars is a very sexual planet as well. So you can even do some great sexual activities and so forth. Let that steam out of the body. You might want to be avoiding sharp objects in the next few days, weapons, or even something which could be dangerous and then you can cut yourself with. Or, if possible, try to avoid surgeries as well. Sun is vitality, Mars is something to do with a sharp object. So, because they are having a square, this is not an ideal day for surgeries. Avoid dangerous situations also. So don't want to get into a fight if not necessary. Mars also represents your competitors, someone who might want to challenge you. And Sun also rules your boss. So your boss might be very frustrated or agitated today. And you can be a little bit like hyped up as well. So probably just count 10 till you actually react to any type of situations around you. You might need to defend yourself at work. Um, because they might be reviewing your performance or they are agitated because of the business performance and so forth. And you know how people are like, they take their anger out on others. Don't take it too personal. It is not a good time to initiate fight or debate because we can be very hot tempered. So as I said, both planets are hot and dry qualities. So hot is expanding things, and the dry actually restricting things. So we want to go ahead, but at the same time, we also get pulled back a little bit as well. It could cause sexual frustrations, or your built up anger wants to kind of burst out. But this could be a day when we are prone towards accidents as well. Of course, have a look at where this square is happening. If your third or the eighth house are involved, and this is more about, for instance, surgeries or accidents and so forth. You might be required to be careful at the gym as well because you can have muscle pain. And I know guys enjoy muscle pains, or even women enjoy muscle pains as well because it feels like I've done something. I know when I used to go to the gym, I was like that. Oh, I'm not hurting. I haven't done much then. But be careful because you can pull one of your muscles as well, and then you are out of business for a few days. So things like exercise, masturbation are very favored on this day to let the energy out of the body. You might want to start something new with this as well because it's all about accomplishment. We can be very driven. But with Mercury retrograde, which, as I said, started yesterday, you might want to focus on projects which you have already started, and maybe you need to tie up the ends of that project. So this is a better few days to finalize something you have already started. By the way, this is not necessarily a busy week. We don't have many major aspects going on, but one of them is quite dominant or prominent, and that's Venus entering the sign of Aquarius. Now, the fifth planet has arrived. And Venus, what is Venus? Money, love, self-worth, relationship, gifts, and presents, and also something to do with beauty. And Aquarius is all about rebellious energy, the friends, society. So with this Venus Aquarius energy, basically one scene from a film called White Chicks came to my mind when one of the blokes who dressed up as a woman was doing a plait for one of the girls. And they were talking about sex and boys and so forth. And of course, the girls didn't know that they were boys. And one of the girls said, or one of the boys said actually, that beauty comes in many shapes and forms. And that's exactly what Venus in Aquarius talks about. We need to be proud about our unique beauty. So Venus very much can represent social gatherings in Aquarius, getting together with friends, talking about subjects which we haven't spoken about with others, or I don't usually speak about those things, with strangers or even parents or my partner. So speak about things freely and not necessarily caring about the consequences. At the same time, Venus is in an emotionally detached sign, which is not necessarily my favorite description of Aquarius, because I do believe that Aquarius is actually a sign which carries plenty of emotions, but just they tend to contain them because they are afraid of rejection, they don't want to get hurt. If you think about the tarot cards, which is number 17, the star card, you can see a woman there who is one leg is in the water and the other one is on the ground, and she is pouring water from one to another. So obviously, Aquarius carries the energy that I want to be staying grounded as well, and I don't want to be overly emotional. So it could be quite a confusing period in your love life, as you might not be able to express your emotions to your partner. The line between love and friendship could be a very thin line once Venus enters Aquarius, because Aquarius rules friendships and groups of all kinds. So during this transit, we can find ourselves falling for people we have already known. So don't be shocked if some emotional feelings are popping up towards someone you have been friends for a while. So you might realize that someone who has been a friend of yours for a long time means more than that. But this is the time when we can also confuse our love life as well. So we can be confused about our feelings. Why do I have that feeling? And maybe because I want to get attached to someone, but at the same time, I want to create boundaries as well. So this is not necessarily an emotional period of time. We might tend to go for one night stands or just having some fun, maybe having a drink with someone or a dinner and so forth, because the key here is to socialize, to connect on a higher level. And Venus is the planet of pleasure. So Venus in Aquarius wants to connect with like-minded people, people who share similar thoughts or even backgrounds. Also, these aspects have got some positive as well. In relationship, we might treat our partner with more integrity or honesty, and you are able to have a friendly talk with your partner. That might be especially true if Venus enters, for instance, the fifth house in your chart. But don't forget that, as I said, Mercury is in retrograde motion, which has just started. So it is very possible to misunderstand your partner, or your partner can misunderstand you as well. Those who are ready, or who are single and ready to mingle, actually this is an ideal month for them. You might attract unique or weird people, people you would usually not necessarily talk to or get along with. And then all of a sudden you realize that, hold on a minute, this person is a genius. I love talking to that person. I am having the time of my life, and so forth. But we can also get into weird situations. So, for instance, a friend of yours can be jealous because you had a kind of connection with their partners. And that's where the misunderstanding can be coming from. Also, it's very possible with that Aquarian, Venusian, Mercurian energy that an old friend is going to pop back into your life, and then you guys reconnect. Maybe it is something with a friend of yours which has not been said, but this is the time when we can actually talk about that. Also, groups might be reconnecting on a social level. Let us hope that COVID will start to ease up a little bit while Venus is in the sign of Aquarius. And actually, I see some potentials for that because Jupiter, towards the second part of February, it's going to be entering its own term, Egyptian term. So Jupiter is going to gain some strength and walking away from Saturn as well. So I am quite optimistic we might see some lift up on the restrictions. Then we don't have anything really going on apart from the moon changing sign and meeting some planets. But I don't necessarily want to be talking about that because those are just a few hour periods. But I've also found that Venus is going to be semi-square in Neptune and at the same time sextile in Chiron. And that's going to be happening towards the weekend on the 6th of February. Actually, we've got 4 planetary alignments going on the 6th of February. So I'm going to have quite a busy birthday. And before we actually talk about what it might mean, I want to be sharing with you what semi-square indicates in the chart, because this is an aspect you might not use. So a semi-square aspect is where 2 planets are 45 degrees apart. And it talks about the energy which is blocked up. But it's not like a normal square, because normal square is something to do with, yeah, it's blocked up, but I'm ready to take action. Semi-square is actually very deeply blocked, meaning that it's psychological. And usually those psychological problems start attracting some external events as well. And the external events are coming into our lives so that we can start working on that. Basically, a semi-square is forcing you to deal with something, but it is in a tangible form. So semi-square also can be positive because it pushes you to take action over something. Semi-square is a very persistent energy, and it makes us become productive. So I usually say that the semi-square is an area of life which suggests inflexibility in us, and we need to adapt to the circumstances. This semi-square happening, 1 second, let me just quickly drink because my mouth is dry. So this semi-square is going to reveal an inflexibility within yourself. Your insecurities need to be checked and dealt with. Melancholy and depression are also very possible with this transit. And you need to be very cautious about alcohol, drugs, or overeating. You're going to have to be able to create some boundaries. And that's exactly what Neptune talks about, right? Venus is the planet of pleasure. Venus is something we enjoy doing. And as I said, at the same time, this is going to be sextiled by Chiron. So it's something which we need to heal within ourselves. At the same time, Mercury is going to be semi-squaring Chiron. So because Mercury is retrograde at the moment, it might be talking about the past. It could bring you some deja vu type of energy, like a memory, which you might want to analyze. It is another melancholic aspect, and you might try to rationalize your memories or your past or your feelings about the past. You might want to talk to someone about the past so that you can move on with your own life. This aspect usually brings a little bit of a pain. At the same time, the possibility of healing also. Now, the reason why Mercury semi-square Chiron is quite an exciting one for us, because it has already happened twice. So this transit has or will have been occurring 3 times. It started on the 21st of January, and now it's going to be happening on the 7th of February. And then the very last time when it's going to be taking place is going to be 9th of March. So it is very important to start the healing process. Of course, it's interesting to see that Mercury semi-squaring Chiron happened the very first time on the 21st of January, because I believe that was kind of a new era for us. The new president came in, and some of probably we need to calm down, we need to start healing ourselves. And let's be optimistic. Let's hope that there's going to be some positive changes coming up in the world as well. But of course, the most important aspect of the week and basically the entire month, having 5 planets in the sign of Aquarius. So we can be a lot more sociable, friendly, quirky. We can have plenty of strange and fascinating ideas. Others might see you as rebels or unique. So an Aquarian stellium strongly emphasizes, even exaggerates the personality traits and the preoccupations of Aquarius. So an Aquarius with a stellium, sorry, has got a very distinct personality. But sometimes they feel unworthy, and they might be very humble as well. They have got a huge need for freedom and independence. They are usually very magnetic because they are very friendly individuals, so they can attract others. But sometimes it becomes like crazy for them because Aquarius likes being a little bit lonely as well. They need a little bit of a lonely time from, maybe a couple of hours, few hours a week, a day. Aquarius is a team player who treats everyone equally and very socially conscious. And Aquarius is a genius. Or they have got eccentric ideas. The good thing about Aquarius is that they never want to be someone like, someone else, basically. So everyone will be affected by this Aquarius stellium because this is a concentrated energy. But especially those will be affected who have got planets in the fixed signs or stelliums in fixed signs or people who have got T-squares or ground crosses in fixed signs. That could be a very remarkable period for them, and probably have a look at what house it is happening. That's where you need to be innovative. That's where you have to come up with wacky ideas. So overall, the week could be very much about relationships. It looks like the relationships need to be reviewed, especially since Mercury is also retrograde, and Mercury is going to be retrograde up till 21st of February. So, of course, we can have issues around commitment, or shall I be free, or shall I be committed to my partner? And that could be also a concern with Saturn and Venus conjunction, as well as Saturn squaring Uranus aspect on the 6th and 7th of February. So when Venus conjunct Saturn, it is very much about a validation we need that actually we are beautiful. We are trying to prove that we are not ugly. So Venus conjunct Saturn transit can bring isolation, sadness, and you might find it difficult to express your love and affection to others. You can be easily cold and sometimes mean as well. And relationships could be suffering the most with this transit, especially through financial matters. So be very careful because we can be very eruptive when it comes to money. And this might lead to some arguments with our partner. Relationships who have got issues, actually, this could be the month when they need to lay a new foundation down. They need to be making a decision whether we are going to be committed to fix it or we are going to be departuring. So lay a new ground if you want the relationship to be working. Also, a new romance is possible as well, but it might not be the most romantic one. So you can meet someone who is older than you or has got more experience or a lot more mature. But because Venus is the planet of money, money can also be a little bit tight. So you need to be mindful about your budgets. Yeah, so this is our very first week of February and my astrological insights to you. I hope you have enjoyed the video. Don't forget to press like and don't forget to push the notification bell either. And I will be back next week with your astrological guide again. Thank you very much for your attention and have a lovely and blessed week. Bye bye.